A very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all at this 54th annual general meeting of the company being held today, that is 14th day of August 2025 at 11:30 a.m. This meeting is being held through video conferencing or other audiovisual means in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The webcast of this meeting is being provided by National Securities Depository Limited, that is NSDL, through its website. The company has made necessary arrangements in order to enable members of the company to participate and vote for the items to be considered at this meeting. The facility of joining this meeting through video conferencing or other audiovisual means is being made available for the members on a first come, first served basis. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the host. Once the question answer session starts, the moderator will announce names of the shareholders who have registered themselves as a speaker shareholders. The speaker shareholder will thereafter be unmuted by the host. The speaker shareholder are requested to announce their names, folio number or DP ID and client ID before speaking and limit their queries to not more than 3 minutes. I would like to mention that in compliance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and SEBI listing regulations, the company has provided to its members the facility to cast their vote through remote e-voting system provided by NSDL. The remote e-voting commenced at 9 a.m. on the 11th August 2025 and was open for voting up to 5 p.m. on 13th August 2025. The facility for e-voting is also available during the meeting for the members who have not yet casted their votes through remote e-voting. Members attending the AGM may go to the voting page of the NSDL's e-voting website and may cast their vote. Mr. Dinesh Joshi, a practicing company secretary, designated partner of Kanj and Company LLP, company secretaries, has been appointed as scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes received through remote e-voting and also through e-voting at the AGM. The company has received authorization from 11 corporate shareholders appointing their representatives under Section 113 of the Companies Act 2013 in respect of 4 crores 37 lakhs 69,627 equity shares of the company, representing 32.09% of the paid up equity share capital of the company. The statutory registers as required under the Companies Act 2013 and other documents as mentioned in the notice convening this AGM are open for inspection by way of web link provided on the website of NSDL and also on the company's website. The representatives of the statutory auditors, Deloitte Huskins and Sells LLP, and representatives of the secretarial auditors, Kanj and Company LLP, are also present at this meeting. Now I request the chairman to take the proceedings of the meeting further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bajpai. I welcome you all to the 54th annual general meeting of the company. As the requisite quorum is present, I call the meeting to order. With me here on the stage are all the directors of the company, except for Mr. Puneet Lalbhai and Mr. Vipul Shah, who have joined this meeting through video conferencing. May I request Shri Puneet Lalbhai to introduce himself?
Namaste, my name is Puneet Lalbhai and I am joining this meeting remotely.
Thank you. And Shri Vipul Shah.
Director of the company. I'm on mute. No, okay. Good morning. I'm Vipul Shah. I'm an independent director of the company. I'm attending 54th annual general meeting of Deepak Nitrite Limited from Mumbai, India.
Thank you, Vipul Bhai. Friends, you may be aware that Mr. Sanjay Asher, Ms. Purvi Sheth have completed their terms of appointment as independent directors on 27th of June 2025, and accordingly they cease to be independent directors of the company. Also, Mr. Prakash Samudra ceased to be independent director with effect from 10th of April 2025 upon his resignation due to his personal reasons. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the three, Mr. Sanjay Ashar, Mrs. Purvi Sheth, and Mr. Prakash Samudra, for the contributions they made during their tenure as independent directors. You may also be aware that Dr. Arvind Agarwal, Mr. Mahesh Chabaria, and Ms. Bhumika Batra have been appointed as independent directors of the company for a term of 3 consecutive years from the 28th of June 2025. And let me give you a brief background of all the 3 new independent directors. Dr. Arvind Agarwal has done graduations in mathematics from IIT Kharagpur. He was then, he did his post-graduation in business administration from IIM Ahmedabad, and then finally PhD again from IIT Bombay. He has been associated with the corporate since the last 50 years and has deep experience in senior leadership positions in leading organizations, particularly relating to human resources. He has had excellent times with Escorts Limited and RPG Enterprise, and he's managing partner of Lead Associates currently. Mr. Mahesh Shabaria is a chartered accountant with 30 years of diverse experience in private equity, investment banking, business strategy, risk management, etc. He has held various leadership positions across diverse institutions, including as managing director of Kirloskar Industries Limited. Ms. Bhumika Batra is a qualified company secretary and has a master's degree in law. She has also studied management from Cornell University. She is a partner of one of the oldest law firms, the law firm with which all of you are aware, Crawford Bailey, and has a rich experience of 20 years in the regulatory and legal fields. She regularly writes in various legal journals and has co-authored books on company law. I welcome all the new independent directors on the board. I will now introduce the directors and the KMP who are sitting with me on the dais. On my left is Mr. Maulik Mehta, Mr. Meghav Mehta, Mr. Girish Satarkar, Mr. Ajay Mehta, Dr. Arvind Agarwal, and Ms. Bhumika Batra. To my right are Mr. Sanjay Upadhyay, Dilip Bhai Choksi, Mahesh Chabaria. Next to Mahesh Chabaria is Mr. Somshekhar Nanda and Mr. Arvind Bajpai. I just realized that all the gentlemen to my right are more to do with finance. I don't know whether it's a coincidence or that's how they've made it, that finance is always right. I thank all the shareholders for joining this meeting today. I hope all of you are safe and in good health. Now let me take you through the highlights and performances of the company during the financial year 24-25. You know, it was something like August 24 when we had our last AGM. And today is a year, but it almost feels as if it has just been a few months. The days, the weeks, the months have passed off like a jiffy. And it actually reminds me of the day when COVID-19 struck a few years back. I do remember when the entire world came to a standstill, when movements were restricted, when isolation was thrust upon each and every one of us. Why do I remember this? Because when I look at it from a long-term perspective, I realize one thing that continues to happen, may it be in nature, and that is that whenever challenges come, these challenges are succeeded by opportunities. Greater the challenges, greater the opportunities. And sometimes after opportunities or after benefits of the opportunity, the greater the benefits, the greater the new challenges come thereafter. So when I look at the situation in COVID-19, when we were all struck and we were all isolated, I believe that was a time when the entire world embraced digitalization the best. It could not have happened in decades what happened in that 1 year, when people learned how to work sitting at home, how to use video conferencing to the maximum, how to ensure that you are still staying connected without touching. And the digitalization effect of what we see now in terms of mobiles and usage of mobiles for a lot of upgradation of our ability to communicate and to be always one up could not have happened if we would not have gone through this major challenge of COVID. The COVID challenge, so far as the industry is concerned, also created a havoc in terms of material movements, logistics, shortages. We tried to learn to live without things. And all those companies or all those businesses that were under pressure constantly tried to see how they could come out of it. Great challenges, and they were followed by great opportunities. Because of acute shortages, prices rose, and a number of companies across the world, be it in China, be it in India, decided or realized that if they were able to tie up their story well, their logistics well, they were finding that they were making significant amount of profits as a result of significantly high prices prevailing in the market. So great opportunities. With these great opportunities came the opportunity of everyone thinking this is going to be always a situation. And so literally everybody who succeeded in those 2020s and 2022 decided that now is the best time to expand. Everybody ended up doubling their capacities. And by 2024, when we started finding the Russian war, Russian-Ukraine war, energy suddenly getting cut off, the great opportunity that was there, great performance that was there in the world in terms of high margins, high profits, and high growth suddenly became the biggest challenge. The world suddenly had far too much of production than what was required, because everybody thought that he is a wise man who is doubling, but the others will not take this opportunity. But at the end of the day, everybody was a smart person. So we had this situation in which production was capacities were much more than demand. On one side, as demand crashed, the extra supply capacity actually squeezed margins across all value chains. And we continue to have situations, particularly in countries in Europe, who are having a double whammy effect of high energy cost because of the Russian-Ukraine war and reduced margins because of huge surpluses coming to Europe. At the same time, their own markets actually shrinking. Deepak has also been in this same ecosystem. I believe 2022, Deepak made the highest ever profits in its entire career. And we were thrilled with the performance. The later years, in the last 2 years, we have been finding the world situation affecting all companies, including Deepak. We had a situation in which the world put in large number of phenol plants between 2021, 22 and 23. And by 24, we were in a situation where there was so much of phenol capacity in the world that companies, which were old companies, decided that they are better off closing down their plants. Phenol plants were closed in Europe, in Southeast Asia. So as margins got squeezed, we too were left with this challenge. However, one of the best things that Deepak and India has is its own home market. And the local market, the Indian market, was steadily growing while the world had become a challenging situation. Taking opportunities of these markets, the team at Deepak worked hard to see that even if there were margins that were coming under pressure, contributions that were coming down, we worked to see that we double up the volumes as long as the Indian market is there. And there was a lot of sweating of the assets that we had, so that the same plant which was supposed to be producing 200,000 tons, ended up crossing the 300,000 ton mark in between 2023 and 2024. So at the end of the day, we were able to ensure that even if margins are falling, we were able to put all of best efforts and improve profitabilities, finally ensuring that we are able to come over the hump. In the Deepak Nitrite standalone, we had unfortunately one challenge, that some of our customers were exclusive customers. Like there's a company where we were been making a product for an agrochemical. This product was made exclusively for them we have been supplying them for the last 15 to 20 years. But as this company, European company, got into challenges so far as the agrochemical business is concerned, they work to destock, first cut down production, then look at destocking, because their inventories were filled in many parts of the world. And even now, as they are reeling through challenges, we do get the ripple effect, and one of our agrochemical businesses, which is dependent on them, have been affected. So when I look at again the year that went by, I would say that 24, 25, we were more or less able to maintain our EBITDA margins. We were about somewhere close to 1100 crores or so. 1198 crores as the EBITDA in the previous year, and this year 1199 crores. And this year we were able to see that as a group, we are able to achieve 1176 crores EBITDA. Of course, some good fortunes in terms of Deepak getting the incentives from the government. All of that also came up to our help during the period of 24-25. So we have been able to, in a way, in spite of these challenging times, able to maintain almost the same performance as the previous year. The current year, the first quarter has been, we just went through our board meetings at Deepak Nitrite, and we do see that this quarter has been still a little bit of challenge. The ag product is still something that the company has been postponing its offtake for one more quarter, and that is affecting the first quarter's contribution. On the phenol side also, we had some challenges in terms of the boiler turnarounds. We also had perhaps one of the highest temperatures, ambient temperatures in Dahej or in Baroda, causing that much of challenges in achieving high production. However, there was a silver lining that during this stage, as we struggle to see how we overcome these challenges, we were able to break yet another record in the production of phenol. And the last highest phenol capacity, we were able to cross that in the month of June to achieve over 1100 tons per day capacity. It's for us now to see how do we really find a way to maintain this over a long-term sustained period. So a couple of years back, when the situations were the way they were as I described, we were also looking at some of these issues and trying to see what best we can do to increase our resilience. We did take up quite a number of projects that would be more like forward and backward integration, getting into products backward in terms of making our own nitric acid from ammonia, so that we end up not only again having the entire value chain from ammonia to amines for Deepak. We also looked at a lot of forward integration projects into downstream derivatives of acetone that we were already making. One of the things that certainly did not help us was that while these projects were well conceived, project execution took its time, took its toll, and in particular when we were finding that challenges coming out of very difficult availability of skilled labor, which caused delays in execution. However, I now see that perhaps we are at the end of the journey so far as these projects are concerned. And one by one, each of these plants are now coming into operation. Last month, we just commissioned our concentrated nitric acid plant. By end of next month, the commissioning of the dilute nitric acid plant also would be complete, and we would start making our own nitric acid from ammonia. This is a major 500 crore project that will bring a lot of economic advantage to the company. I believe we would be perhaps the only company in the world which is integrated right from ammonia to amines. Also, some of the other projects that we have taken up, the hydrogenation plant is also into commissioning stage to make organic amines. The plant that we put up to make bulk solvents from acetone is also rapidly getting completed, and I expect that by end of the year we will be into production of MIBK. And the specialty solvents based on acetone should also be coming into being perhaps by the end of next month. So as we see all of these, I do see that for the year 2026, we are building up a solid future and a strong foundation for a constantly growing business for Deepak. So at this stage, I would also like to remind you that we have also committed ourselves to look at a massive mega project of over 14 to 15,000 crores. This project is again embracing the idea of integration, and we would be creating an integrated complex right from propylene to polycarbonate. Propylene is like the base material which will be made available next door by one of the public sector companies who are putting up a PDH plant to make propylene out of LPG. And this will be converted into first phenol and acetone, the product that we are already making. But this phenol and acetone will be then converted to another product which is called bisphenol A. And the bisphenol A will finally be converted to making polycarbonate resins. India is a rapidly growing consumer of this wonderful engineering polymer, which goes into products like automobiles, like electronics, like electricals. And I believe in future, even the capacities that are going to come up for drones will use a lot of polycarbonate resins, including medical appliances, and even the LEDs that we use today are all dependent on this wonderful product called polycarbonate. Since the last year, we have started making good progress on this. The first was we looked at acquiring a running plant in Germany, which was making polycarbonate resins. And right now we are in the process of shifting that plant to India. I believe by mid next year, that plant should be shifted to India. We have also signed up technology commitments with UOP to put up the phenol and acetone second project. And I believe that after this phenol acetone project, Deepak would again come into the ranks of those very few players in the world who have the highest phenol capacity in one location. We would be almost like 700,000 tons of phenol capacity in Dahej itself as a group. All of these projects are now being slated to come up one after another, and I am confident that by 2028, just around the time when Petronet also starts putting up their propylene availability, that we would have completed all these projects and we would have this fully integrated plan coming up here at Dahej. All these are exciting times, and I know that we are always going to be working to see that whatever opportunities we take, there are going to be times when there are going to be challenges coming. But I've seen these cycles, and at the end of the day, I do see that finally the wheels of fortune keep on coming back and actually keep on driving us to higher and higher heights, higher and higher challenges, and perhaps higher and higher opportunities. While I'm ably supported by a very good, strong team, I would also want to take this opportunity to share something different, and that is beyond business. Beyond business, why? Because with all your good efforts, with all one's good expertise, with all one's good smartness, we also need a lot of good blessings. And these blessings actually come from some things that we have been doing, like at Deepak Foundation, where in the last year itself, the foundation has helped to see that over 150,000 patients across Gujarat, Maharashtra have been supported by a number of mobile vans. Like in industry, we have been also unique in Deepak Foundation, where we have tried to do something different. For the first time, we have started what we call as vans, which have the capability to go to villages and to help analyze different different problems, including taking X-rays to confirm whether any patient has TB or not, so that immediate response is given. For the first time, we have started what we call as, for ladies in the villages, mammography to be done in order to detect cancer. One of our programs that we have worked to see how to close the link between what the government has been doing in terms of wanting to support the millions of poor people, but there has been always a missing link, and the missing link has been the ability for individuals to actually apply for the government schemes. By creating experts in this in every village, we have now covered some 100 villages, and through these we have been able to touch base with the villagers, helping them to get themselves right from Aadhaar card to other cards and enroll them. And I'm happy to share that last year, the amount of support that these people have been able to get benefited from the government has crossed 1,000 crores. It is when we look at some of these that I feel that God, whatever He has given us, He has also given us this opportunity to work for these people. And this brings me back to again seeing what we should be doing, because were it not for constantly improving profits, we would not be in such a good position to continue supporting these ideas. And therefore, I come back to saying that the three stakeholders of Deepak, be it my dear shareholders, the people who work for Deepak, and the people whom we are given an opportunity to serve, are the three that keeps on driving us to overcome challenges and to take greater and newer opportunities. In all of these efforts, I am also fortunate to, as I said, not only have a great team with us, but also some of us who actually have been sharing and taking the burden and ensuring that we are moving forward. I may just take this opportunity to acknowledge not only all of the others, but all the three chief executives, Mr. Kishore Jalaria, who is our CEO at Deepak Phenolics, Mr. Maulik Mehta, who is CEO at Deepak Nitrite, and Mr. Megha Mehta, who is CEO at Deepak Chemtech. So at this stage, as we dream big, as we continue pursuing, at least as I commit myself to the 90 hours a week type of work and effort, and I hope the legacy also passes on to my children. I'm sure that it's passing on to my children. I do see that while we are working on these challenges, there are the challenges that come in situations of here and now, where the short term needs to constantly grow into a fantastic long term. And for this, when I look at managing the challenges that Deepak Nitrite is going through as it builds itself up to better days, I would like to. I do know that there are things that are happening, and Maulik is working with his team to change some of the situations and parameters for the better. Maybe I would like, after I finish this, for Maulik to give a few points on what is happening at Deepak Nitrite and how are we building up to A, that our reliance on one agrochemical company, or B, reliance on issues relating to cost challenges because of China. What are we doing about it? And the second big challenge, as I just mentioned, is execution of projects. When we are taking such a massive project with all the clarity and the focus, the challenge of putting in these capacities effectively and proving our project management capabilities are things that is something that that is going to be tested. So maybe I can request Meghav, who is currently driving these initiatives, to also share with you what we are doing to ensure that the project execution prowess, so far as Deepak is concerned, is coming to be helping us to ensure that the mega projects are coming on time and as successfully, so that not only 26 but 28, 29 also appears to be greater and greater performance for the company. With these few words, can I request Maulik and Meghav to share what they would like to talk on the points I just mentioned? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the kind words, Chairman. So, Deepak.
Working 90 hours was not a kind word.
It's a great expectation. So, Deepak, over the last 50 years, has always prided itself on a tremendous diversity of chemistries. We've always been a chemistry-driven chemical manufacturing company, and supplying and supporting a diverse range of end applications. And so it is a fact that despite all of these, it has been noted that there is a risk of overdependence on a small number of customers, perhaps in one industry or another. And over the last couple of years, one of those risks that came up was an overdependence on one or two customers in the agrochemical space. Now, until 2022, diversifying away from here was impossible because of IP controls. And after 2022, when our customers went through financial challenges unprecedented in their long history, it meant that they were not able to capitalize on their intrinsic advantage of market share, of brand equity, and naturally, this affected strategic suppliers such as Deepak. Now, while we continue to engage with them at every level, we believe that our employees and our stakeholders come first. So we've done a few things, the most important being that many of our assets which were dedicated to these small number of products have now been repurposed to be able to manufacture a diverse set of molecules in discrete lines at the same time. These are higher value, albeit in smaller volume, but more importantly, they will be run in campaigns in sync with a broader set of customers. We've also taken this opportunity to look inside and see what we can do to improve process intensification, leverage our understanding of many of these processes where Deepak has had decades of experience. And I'm happy to share that the team has done a wonderful job on both fronts of being able to create significant value while at the same time reducing costs and at the same time reducing our carbon footprint. We've also taken steps to ensure that 65% of our power will come from renewable sources by May 2026. And finally, what we have done is we have made sure that looking at these challenges, we have brought together our R&D, our scale up, our engineering, and our manufacturing to the same platform. Senior participants here work tirelessly with each other to ensure that the speed of execution from idea all the way to delivering a product which matches and exceeds the customer's expectations is done at a speed which has not in the past been a hallmark of the company, but will remain a trademark of the company as we move forward. This is the best way and the only way to come closer to customers and customers who matter. While we're doing this, we've also looked at seeing that just because we have good cost competence, good quality, that does not mean that business is a guarantee. We have to look and find an unassailable moat. And one of the moats that we have looked at is our deep experience and expertise in handling ammonia. So we've leveraged that expertise in a space which has until now not really been exploited. And we've been able to do it and create a set of products in a greenfield plant, which is in the process of being constructed, which will allow us to be probably the only company in the world who is able to make multiple products for end applications such as agrochemicals, such as polymers, and perhaps such as pharmaceuticals in a manner which is unbeatable from a carbon footprint perspective, from an efficiency perspective, and naturally from a quality and purity perspective. These would not be coming to light were it not for the tireless efforts of the business teams, the operating teams, the R&D, and the engineering teams. So while we have had certain challenges in the last few quarters, I believe that it has given us a significant opportunity to not wait for the next cycle where chemicals that we make are in high demand and low supply. But we will find within ourselves the opportunity, the assets, the people, and the motivation to be able to bring those products out in a manner which the rest of the world and our customers will appreciate. This is all going to be happening within the next few months and within this year. So next quarter and the quarter after that is where we will see many of these products not just commissioned, not just approved by customers, but in regular play in contractual volumes. And I look forward to being able to come back to this today and say that we are well on our way to achieving the kind of future that Deepak Nitrite has always aspired to become.
Great, Maulik. I really feel happy that the young generation is taking on with much more energy, much more vigor. I look forward for the next AGM. Megha, would you like to share a few thoughts on how are we putting our capabilities together for the mega project, and also what would you say would be the learnings that we have had in these last couple of years?
Good afternoon, dear shareholders. We know that commodities are cyclic in nature, and one of the successes that we saw with the phenol project was that we timed the cycle correctly. And with our next round of mega projects, we are intending to do the same. So our upcoming 14 to 15,000 crores of investments is, it's designed to contribute 7,000 crores or up of annual revenue once it is fully operational. And this is a steep change in our capacity, our capabilities, and our value creation as an organization. And we're positioning ourselves to enter the production of this facility by 2028, right when market conditions are going to be right. And we expect them to be in our favor. We have done this before with the phenol project that was executed in around 2016 to 18 as our gold standard. It still remains our gold standard. A world scale, world class facility delivered on time and within budget. And that success really came from having a very lean, empowered team with an outstanding EPCM partner and strong OEM and construction relationships of our partners. We are going to be returning to a similar model that is EPCM and moving away from the recent approach that we have had, where we've had detail engineering being done by a few different engineering partners and then trying to manage construction management internally. This did not deliver the results that we expected. However, it did give us more than 200 different learnings of project execution that we are bringing into the upcoming projects that we have. Along with our learnings are the learnings from our EPCM partners and bringing in learnings from OEMs and key relationships, key partnerships that are required for successful project execution. Our first project in this upcoming mega project cycle is going to be the relocation of our polycarbonate facility from Germany to India. This is going to be a new project for us, and it will really set the tone for every project that happens subsequently. The relocation brings a unique advantage. All the equipment, the structure, the piping, all of this is already available. And this gives, a significantly, this delivers a significantly reduced effort in engineering and procurement. And it gives our construction partners clear, visible fronts for execution. So the challenge is going to be the reassembly of the project. However, this challenge is solved at an early stage, at the strategizing of how the plant is dismantled. So we've bet on a few partners who have a proven, safe track record of dismantling, tagging, packing, and the logistics of a plant from Europe to India. We have taken use of all the advancements in technology that we can. We have 3D scanned the entire existing facility. We're turning it into a smart model, and we're going to be mapping how each element that comes out of that plant really, goes into the, it's tracked into which box it is packed in, into which container it goes into when it is going to arrive at our shore, where in our facility it is going to get unloaded. And then the construction of this first facility is going to be the primary critical path. We have to manage close to 500 containers that are going to arrive at our facility from Germany. And with our EPCM partners and our own construction teams, we're bringing the construction element front and center in our execution planning. And from day one, we are co-developing a construction management strategy that puts just-in-time material management that ensures that material is available exactly when it is needed, that makes sure that we don't clutter our sites, that don't cause any delays, or nothing gets damaged in the process. What we are also trying to do is really simplify our execution process. We're going to work with OEMs to look at the kind of specs that they have, and rather than try to over customize, over engineer, we will be working hand in hand with them to make sure that what we get is a quick, fast execution from delivery and execution from all of our partners, looking at OEM specifications and bringing those into our project for better speed and reliability. We're looking at engineering from a more modular point of view. Can we bring modularization into our plant? Can we bring elements of precast, prefabrication, all of this to reduce the site, the work at site? It'll also help us reduce waste. It'll also make our execution more energy efficient. Strong EPCM partnerships is, from the discipline and the accountability and the rigor that they bring to a project execution practice, is something that we're looking for from our partners. And we are bringing in an early involvement of construction into the project execution, as well as operations teams into the designing and the execution of the plants. And this will help us at the end of the project when we have to hand over the project from the plant, the site, from projects to operations, and make that experience much smoother. For the governance of our projects, we will be bringing in all the modern techniques that we have familiarized ourselves with, bringing in BIM 4D for real-time visibility of what is happening, looking at advanced construction simulation, the path of construction, advanced work packaging, last planner systems, make-ready packets. All of this is going to help us ensure that we have right prioritization, clear front availability, and minimal stoppage of the execution of the construction. Risk management is an integral part, and it has to start even from the early days of project conceptualization. So a focused, forward-looking forward-looking planning, risk identification, risk minimization, and then risk mitigation strategies are all being applied to the way we are conceptualizing the execution of the upcoming mega projects. A key part of that is de-risking our supply chain, and we're taking decisive steps in securing and to secure resources and eliminate any uncertainties that may come up in the project. The biggest uncertainty that we've had in the past few years has been the dependence on skilled labor. And to ensure that we have the right partners that end up bringing the right kind of labor to us, we will be investing in our own high standard housing labor colony to retain the skilled manpower and minimize any kind of attrition risk during the execution of the project. We're also looking at some key partners to work with us on a build, own, operate model. Right? This, for a selected critical packages and utilities, OEMs will invest and design and construct themselves. This, of course, reduces the capex and turning the fixed into a variable cost. But it really does help us bring the right partners and the right attitude that is needed for the execution of, for the successful execution of these projects. We're also talking to the OEMs, we're talking to equipment fabricators, bringing in their ideas of what could help improve the performance of our project and de-risk it. We're locking in entire shop capacities. We're bringing in tonnage kind of contracts and guarantees, and looking at performance-based incentives to work with fabrication shops. Going to the level of looking at steel procurement at the source as their inputs, de-risking the decision making for them. Right, so we are looking at exploring direct contracting with the likes of steel mills to secure not only the volumes, the priorities, but also achieving economies of scale, and in that sense, hedging our price volatility. Same thing with cement. We're looking at blocking quantities in advance to stabilize costs, ensure supplies. What makes this upcoming mega project, a truly strategic one in nature is that it is part of a fully integrated facility. This integration is going to drive a lot of cost efficiency, a lot of energy efficiency, and it's going to be, of course, one of a kind in India. Right from the propylene feedstock, which is going to be piped to our site, is going to be a significant reduction of any supply chain risk. And we will be producing, from cumene to phenol to BPA to PC. We will be essentially controlling every molecule in the supply chain, all the way from the feedstock to the final product. And this integration, of course, captures margins, reduces the supply chain risk, and ensures that we have an unmatched ability to support and service our customers. So the master planning of this site is critical and it is very deliberate. We're designing in utilities and infrastructure from the outset to serve all the future phases, and the different plants that are going to come up. And this system level integration is really what is going to help us, help make us more energy efficient and deliver very optimized unit economics for each of the molecules. So as Deepak, projects are more than just investments. They really are a way of life for us. They are the engines of growth, capability building, and what helps us remain as market leaders. We are entering this cycle with favorable market timing, a proven and reinstated EPCM execution model, deep learnings that have come from our previous projects, robust partnerships that we are leveraging, and the systems required to deliver at scale. These projects will define not only our capacity, our capability, setting Deepak apart for the decades ahead, and delivering strong, lasting value for our shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Mego. So once again, I do feel that I'm blessed with a good, strong, young team, which will not only deliver today, tomorrow, but even day after. And with these few words, I request speakers to take this, ask for any questions and answers.
Thank you, sir. The speaker shareholders are requested to limit their queries to not more than 3 minutes each and raise queries or provide suggestions which are relevant to the company. The response to the queries shall be provided together at the end. The first speaker is Mr. Bimal Kumar Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, please mention your DP ID and client ID before asking your question. You may ask your question now.
My client ID is 120-323-000-350-2453. I am Bimal Kumar Agarwal speaking from Bombay. First of all, I'd like to thank the company secretary, team, management, staff, and the shareholders. Good morning to you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night to other shareholders or other management person who has joined from other part of the world. Beautiful picture you have or management has given about the company. I can't ask any question about the working. That's all from me. Thank you very much, and please continue with the video conference in future. And so people from anywhere in the world, they can join. I am joining from Bombay. Otherwise, I had to come to Pune and join. Come physically into Pune. And sir, since in the opening remarks, you had said that COVID time, I also learned cooking. When I used to now cook also. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Please continue with video conference in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. The next speaker is Mr. Kaushik Shaukar. Mr. Shaukar, please mention your DP ID and client ID before asking your question. You may ask your question now.
I'm audible?
Yes, Mr. Shaukar. Please go ahead.
I'm not visible, sir. Is it fine?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Good morning to respected chairman, executive directors, and key management personnel. It gives me immense pleasure to interact with you once again this year. I am also deeply grateful to our company secretary for granting me the opportunity. At the outset, I am hopeful you all are in good shape. Please do take good care of your health, Chairman sir and entire team. Coming to the agenda of the meeting, I would like to seek only clarification which goes, given the company's recent capacity expansion and performance, products and phenol acetone derivatives, what is the expected timeline to achieve optimal utilization level and how will this impact uh, our EBITDA and margin over next two fiscal years? One suggestion to strengthen long-term resilience and reduce raw material cost efficiency, raw material cost volatility, the company could consider backward integration into critical feedstocks or forming strategic sourcing alliances, particularly for imported petrochemical intermediaries. Before concluding, I would like to share a thought that I believe reflect our company's own inspiring journey. Deepak Nitrite journey from a single product company to a diversified chemical powerhouse is proof that vision, innovation, and persistence can turn challenges into catalyst for growth. And on a lighter note, Deepak Nitrite is so good at adding value, even the chemical reaction must be getting performance bonuses. Our personal appeal, I am personally committed to putting in my best effort, but with organization support, the journey becomes even more meaningful. In that spirit, I humbly request the kind consideration of our esteemed chairman, Mr. Our esteemed chairman, our MD, and our CFO to provide me an opportunity to get associated with our company in the area of certification audit, including those related to foreign payments. Routine Form 15CB. Such an opportunity would not only help me remain professional, resilient, and self-reliant, but also make me feel truly connected as a valued part of our company family. No matter I am freshly able, but my mind is still fragile. That is why I'm requesting you to help me with work rather than asking free money. Sir, if a company helps them needy, maybe even shareholders, it will be CSR activity, which our company is known for the same. I lastly humbly suggest that saving from virtual
Mr.
AGM.
Shaukar, your voice is not very clear. If you can speak a little clearly.
Lastly, hope I'm audible, sir.
Yeah, you're audible, but your voice is not clear. If you can just speak a bit louder, keep your speaker or your mic a little bit away from your mouth.
Lastly, I humbly suggest that saving from virtual AGM be thoughtfully utilized for shareholders' welfare, perhaps through a small token of appreciation, reinforcing our emotional bond connection with the company. Thank you all for your time, attention, and continued support. I look forward to engaging with you next year. Also, I request our chairman, MD, and our CFO to please consider my plea and provide me an opportunity to engage with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Shaukar. We have noted your queries and suggestions. The next speaker is Mr. Manjit Singh. Mr. Singh, please provide your DP ID and client ID before asking your question. You may go ahead now. Mr. Manjit Singh. There seems to be some difficulty connecting to Mr. Manjit Singh. So our next speaker is Mr. Yusuf Rangwala. Mr. Yusuf, please provide your DP ID and client ID before asking a question. You may ask your question now. Mr. Yusuf?
सर आपको आवाज आ रहा है? वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून सर, स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम मुंबई। सर आपको आवाज आ रहा है?
Yes, you are audible, Mr. Yusuf.
यस सर, स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम मुंबई। सर आपने हाफ एन आवर को पूरा आपने एक्सप्लेन किया। सर वी एंड ए पेट्रोल बिजनेस, सर आपने पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया। सर आपका एक्सप्लेनेशन बहुत अच्छा लगा, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी एंड आई एम द शेयर होल्डर और पूरा दीपक ग्रुप का मैं शेयर होल्डर हूँ सर। सर ये 54 साल हुआ, 50 साल में आपने बोनस दिया था सर, मैं जाना चाहता हूँ। जब 50 साल आपका जब कंप्लीट हुआ था तब आपने हमें फैक्ट्री विजिट भी नहीं कराया सर। अभी हो सके तो आफ्टर द दिवाली सर, कैन यू अरेंज a factory visit sir? Because coming from Bombay, it is you can arrange a small train. Morning at 6 o'clock train is coming, so that we can come and if you arrange a factory visit, sir. Tell the people to come at the station and we will anything from Bombay, so that we can come and have a look how our plantation is going on. What are the total number of staff working at a factory? Point number 2. Usme how many are ladies and how many are gents? Point number 3, in which country our product are export and import, sir? I would like to know. Point number 4, well, I would like to know that today market our shares are red. And for example, Motilal Oswal, Sher Khan, people are saying that bonus is due in this time. When we can accept the bonus from you, sir, I would like to know. Whether in this year or next year, sir, I would like to know. And nothing more to it. Sir, kal apna 79 Independent Day. Wishing you all the board a very happy Independent Day. And a छोटा सा शेयर पेश करना चाहता हूँ। फूलों की खुशबू, कलियों की बार और दीपक नाइट्रोजन का साथ हमें जा रहे हैं सर। किसी को गुड लक सर। आप पुणे में बैठे, हम बॉम्बे में बैठे, पर ये वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस बहुत अच्छा है सर। कीप इट अप दिस वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी विद दिस वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस सर। सर नहीं तो हमको पुणे आना पड़ता है सर। चेयरमैन सर, सर अबाउट 1 मंथ आपका केमिकल में आपका आदमी लोग मिले थे सर। आपके केमिकल एग्जीबिशन में था, उसमें आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया था एनएससी नेस्को में सर। हमें आपका प्रोडक्ट बहुत अच्छा लगा सर, आपके पीपल बहुत अच्छे थे सर। हम नेस्को में गए थे, पीपल एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग हाउ द प्रोडक्शन इट इज, हाउ इट इज सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। जय हिंद सर, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय। जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय। जय हिंद सर, वंदे मातरम सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you, Mr. Rangwala. Our next speaker is Mr. Jaideep Bakshi. Mr. Bakshi, please mention your DPID and client ID before asking a question. Mr. Bakshi.
And also to our CFO, myself Jaideep Bakshi, connecting from the city of Kolkata. First of all, I convey my thanks to our company secretary, Mr. Arvind Ji, for giving me an opportunity to express my views and also presenting a detailed and informative annual report. Sir, all the speeches, initial speeches before the start of this meeting, question answer session was very much thoughtful. We shared everything about our company affairs and what is our future prospects, and also about the challenges which we faced with the post-COVID era. And so how do we plan to come out of this situation in the future, and what is our future sustainable growth plan? Kindly share some that. And how many repeat customers are we having in our order book? And what is also our order book positions? Kindly share. And what is our thoughts regarding inventory management? Kindly share that. And are we thinking of any key partners or joint venture for growth or penetrating into new market areas? Kindly share that also. And so just want to know, as you shared in your speech, what is the basic reason for relocation of our unit from Germany to India? And how much would be the cost effective regarding this? Kindly share that. And as you have said that kindly go for the direct procurement from the direct manufacturer for our projects, so that will help our input cost also. And that's all from my side, and I wish the company all the best in the coming years with the young team which we have on our board. And do continue with this VC so that we can get in touch. And happy independence to all present into this video conference. And sir, if you are arranging for a get together or a planned visit, do inform us. And that's all from my side. Thank you, sir, for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Bakshi. The next speaker is Mr. Nirav Jhamudia. Mr. Jhamudia, please mention your DPID and client ID before asking a question.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Nirav, please go ahead.
Yeah, my DPID is 301151 22924874. So first of all, thank you for the insightful thoughts shared by Mr. Maulik and Mr. Meghav. So I have few questions to ask. So, sir, when we see our annual report, we have been saying or telling that like we are undertaking a 8,500 crore capex spread between phenol and bisphenol A. But I think what I heard, and if I heard it correctly, we are talking about 14,000 crores of projects. So, are there any additional projects or products what we have finalized? Uh, and B, based on the capex what have been announced in the annual report, how we see the commissioning of these projects taking shape? Like we have mentioned a date of March 28. So are we seeing any modifications in the timeline, or can there be any cost overruns or capex being higher than this 8,500 crores? And also if you can share out of this capex, how the schedule of the products will be coming by. So March 28 is for the polycarbonate, and other projects would follow subsequently. So if you can share your thoughts here. Sir, second question is what I understood is we from the annual report we have a sizable exports also towards USA. So predominantly on the agrochemicals and sodium nitrite. So if you can share your thoughts here that with the current tariffs which still is under consideration and some of which are already been implemented. So how do we see our business out of USA so far as the products are concerned? So third is, you have rightly highlighted about the challenges what we have been facing over last 2 years in terms of either the raw material cost escalations or the freight rates going up, plus some problems at the customer end. But if you can share some of the silver linings or the notable achievements which Deepak has achieved in FY25, which could remain permanent to us. So in terms of any cost savings or the initiatives which we have taken, which could continue beyond business. So if you can share your thoughts here. And sir, last question is on so let's say our standalone sales is 2,500 crores, which we have reported in FY25. How much of this would be coming from agrochemicals? And you have highlighted in some of the points that there were problems at the customer end, and because our exposure to one or two customers, we couldn't place the volumes because of the problems at the customer end. So how do we foresee a revival into our placement of products within the customers, and how do we see the business going forward so far as this particular business segment is concerned? Thank you so much, sir, and wish the entire team of Deepak Nitrite all the best and good health.
Thank you, Mr. Nirav. Our next speaker is Mr. Jayesh Manek. Mr. Manek, please mention your DPID and client ID before asking a question.
700 and client ID 00161981. My name is Jayesh Manek. At the outset, let me compliment the chairman and his two Ram Lakshman sons for having given us the good feedback in the chairman's speech and the CEO speech. Sir, going through the annual report, what I find admiration and inspiring is the front cover page is Destination Bharat, sir. Bharat word is used first time in our annual report. I think it's the brain intelligence of Mr. Maulik. He is pro-Hindutva and pro-Hindustan, sir. The annual report is good, excellent. Thanks for the good dividend and the good company's sales and performance. How are we going to finish the balance 9 months, sir? Yesterday's results are seen in today's press media. You have not mentioned anything on the latest controversy world over, the tariff regime, sir. Daily the tariff keeps on changing like stock market regime, sir. Prices. the what duty to be charged, and what is the logic of this not tariff fixed tariff. What is the brain intelligence of Mr. Trump? What is he up to, sir? Whole world is tired just now with all these different tariffs and problems for everybody. Please enlighten us. How is our company going to be free from these tariff problems, or how are we going to get affected? You have not mentioned anything on the tariff regime, sir. Sir, regarding the snaps in the annual report, I find every snap of chairman, the finance director, CEO, the Maulik snap, all smiling. But why no smile on Mr. Megal's face, sir? What is the reason? Is it because of this Trump's tariff problem world over that he is also upset and praying to your Lord Mahavir to come out with normalcy soon, sir? Sir, when are we going to have our public issue of Deepak Chemtech and Deepak Phenol, sir? Nothing is mentioned. And be big hearted so that your Father in heaven also continues to shower blessings with preferential offer to be given to the Deepak Nitrite shareholders who have been loyal shareholders for last several decades, sir. And share if possible at par, some quota at par, sir, and to your company employees also. Sir, shortly your Jain Pajoshan is going to start. Wishing all in advance Michami Dukram, and later on the global Ganpati festival is also going to be starting in next a week, 10 days. Let us hope all the problems on earth, the current war between Israel and other countries, Russia and Ukraine and others stop, and this tariff regime also stops at the earliest, sir. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra and Jai Gujarat, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Manik. As there are no other registered speaker shareholders, I request the chairman to kindly respond to the queries and suggestions.
Thank you. Few of the questions were relating to the time plan by which each of these projects would be completed. So we do see the polycarbonate plant coming up at the earliest in terms of the value chain, and perhaps the phenol plant would come at the last in order to ensure that the propylene that is going to come from Petronet is timed with the consumption of propylene to make phenol and acetone. We have the flexibility that in case one of the plants come up earlier, we can still continue to run the plant, operate the plant by maybe importing the intermediate for some time, but ensuring that the plant production is getting to be well established. This is the beautiful benefit of the entire integrated value chain. So I do see that if the way things have been planned out by somewhere around next year, similar time, the polycarbonate plant is shifted to India. It would take roughly about a year or so from then to see that we are coming into completing mechanical completion and coming into production. So I'm hoping that end of December 27, around December 27, we should be close to coming into manufacturing of polycarbonate resins. We have already started importing polycarbonate resins and started making compounds out of that, and started to meet various customers in the electrical, electronics, automobiles industry. And we are seriously considering whether to also look at creating a special company which will focus on developing not only currently the commodity polycarbonate products, but also constantly work on future specialty polycarbonate products. Specialty meaning those products that will go for making items for the healthcare industry or the high-end electronics industry. So for these, we may look at a joint venture partner who would help bring in those recipes, those capabilities, so that we can make the specialty products too. So far as the other projects are concerned, as I said, the teams are organizing to see that one after another, each of the projects are tied in. There were a few questions. One was to talk about where does the company export its products? What is happening to Trump tariffs, as they call it? And in a way, I think Mr. Manek already replied that our response to the Trump tariff was Destination Bharat. At the end of the day, when we are making more and more products for our own country, we would love to see that the world comes to the near normal situation which was prevailing a few years ago. But in spite of that, as long as the country continues to grow and we continue to develop products which the country today is importing and tomorrow it will be made available as a part of Atmanirbharta, I believe that whatever we are doing will only make our country stronger, and whatever we are doing will only make us less and less reliant on what is happening to the outside world. One of the question was about shifting the polycarbonate plant to India. We are shifting the plant to India because India is where the market is. And another thing that we have learned is that in the value chain, some of the companies who are having challenges internationally are those companies which are not integrated. We have therefore taken this decision to ensure that we have an integrated plant which will give as much resilience to see that when the markets, the prices are down, we can still continue to do good business. And when the cycles change, certainly we would look forward to having extraordinary performance. With regard to issues relating to Deepak Nitrite standalone, particularly buyer, and what other ways that we are responding to, particularly also to the exports that we are doing today to United States. Can I request Maulik to add on a few, respond to these points?
Thank you, Chairman. And thank you to the speaker shareholders for very incisive questions. First of all, at the outset, I would say that Deepak Nitrite standalone, the direct exposure to US exports is limited. I think it's close to about 7%, and as a consolidated entity, it would be close to about 2.3, 2.4%, not so much more than that. I see my finance people nodding their heads. I got the number right. Anyways, the point being, even there, we are working on various initiatives to make sure that the impact is minimal. There will be some, but my larger concern is what we call the second order impact, which is how our customers get affected. But one thing is for sure, that the US is the world's largest economy, and it's a demand side economy. The world today trades in US dollars. The world's largest supply side economy is China. And China spends more of its manpower, energy, and all its other infrastructure into exporting what it makes. but the world's largest single point where there is a good medium between what is made and what is consumed is India. And Destination Bharat is not a theme for just our annual report. I genuinely believe that it is a theme for a resilient and successful future. As inefficient as we may be, because we are sitting in the middle, any policy change will positively affect not just demand, but also supply. And Deepak stands at the forefront of being a champion for Atmanirbharta because we believe it's good for our procurement, our production, as well as our sales. One of the steps that we are taking, fortuitously, is that the assets that we put up in our subsidiary in Oman will be subjected to zero tariffs because of a bilateral free trade agreement, which is enforced by law and therefore not subject to temper tantrums. There was also a question about some silver linings that were there over the last year. And we don't spend much time talking about brownfield expansions, but that is a consistent theme. So over the last year, several of our assets have had brownfield expansions, and they've managed to do it without constraining supply to the market. And I think that's a wonderful achievement again by the teams, because doing this in a way where we are able to retain wallet share, market share, trust of the customers allows us to ensure that when we are there with a larger capacity, we're doing it with a high degree of customer investment also. So we've already done this in several of our products over the last year. The most recent of it was in the beginning of the first quarter, which got commissioned. So we will see value getting added over the next 3 quarters in this. We've also de-risked ourselves by significantly expanding our storage of ammonia, which will help us not only in our existing products, but also in the nitric acid. It'll allow us to negotiate more consistent terms for ammonia purchase so that we don't have a disadvantage when we increase our exposure to the raw material. We have also invested into R&D facilities, both for compounding as well as for traditional aromatic, non-aromatic chemistries. And these are all, one has already been commissioned last year. The other one is in the process of being commissioned within this quarter. And these will become wonderful entry points for interactions with customers, both Indian and non-Indian. So these are efforts that we have taken. They don't get as much recognition because the results of these come out in financial numbers. But this is done by the hard work of our teams, by a great degree of collaboration and investment. Finally, our exposure to agrochemicals. I know that there's a mixed message that's going out in the Indian investor ecosystem about whether agrochemicals as an industry is still suffering the vagaries of the last few years. I believe that in many cases, we have seen the worst and we're coming out of it. In a couple of cases, it may be a single company or a single product that is facing a unique set of challenges. But let me also assure you that those challenges may be to a company or two companies. They're not necessarily to the industry, and they're not also to the success of the product that we have been supplying intermediates for. We continue to remain bullish about its growth, its acceptance by farmers worldwide, and we will remain invested in the value chain. We will engage with the customer, and moving forward, as we will have optimized our costs to world-leading standards along with our quality and our carbon footprint, I know that our products will be in high demand, whoever the manufacturer is. We do expect a revival even with the customer. The customer is taking very intelligent steps to ensure that their future is much stronger than what they have been witnessing over the last couple of years in terms of their own challenges. And these are intelligent people with a high investment in the success of what they have been cultivating for decades. And if it is 1 quarter here or 1 quarter there, it doesn't matter. That is the value of a strategic partnership that one builds with a customer. 15 years and 20 years of a relationship will yield its benefit, and we'll be there when it does. So all that I hope is that the success of this product and products such as this do not get dominated by just a single country, China, and we're able to rise to the occasion and service our farmers and the world's farmers in a way which allows companies in India such as Deepak to continue to remain significant strategic partners.
Thank you, Maulik. And the last point I was wanting to address is where some questions were put on about bonuses, about public issue of DCTL and DPL. So both all of you are aware that both DCTL and DPL are wholly owned subsidiaries of Deepak Nitrite. So whatever happens over there, the gains, the benefits comes back directly, finally to you, dear shareholders. So at the end of the day, if at all we look at different options of funding, we will ultimately again ensure that you as shareholders are always going to be kept as the prime focus to ensure that the well-being of my shareholders is always coming first in terms of priorities. So in the coming years, as we go through options, opportunities, I do see that we want to ensure that your worth, your value in your investment in Deepak continues to grow and continues to make you feel very proud and happy. So with these few words, please leave it to us to ensure that we do great things for you. Thank you so much. We may proceed further. I think I have answered all the questions. May I now request Mr. Arvind Bajpai to take the proceedings further.
Thank you, sir. Since the notice is already circulated to all the members, I take the notice convening this meeting as read. There are no qualifications, observations, or adverse remarks in the reports issued by the statutory auditors and the secretarial auditors, which may have a material adverse effect on the functioning of the company, and hence the same are not required to be read out at this meeting. However, I will brief the members about the business items as contained in the notice. There are 7 business items in the notice of the 54th annual general meeting. I will now read items under ordinary business. Item number 1, to receive, consider, approve, and adopt the audited standalone financial statements of the company for the financial year ended March 31, 2025, together with the reports of the Board of Directors and the auditors thereon. The resolution for item number 1, as provided in the notice, is proposed to be passed as ordinary resolution. Item number 2 of the notice, to receive, consider, approve, and adopt the audited consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended March 31, 2025, together with report of auditors thereon. The resolution for item number 2, as provided in the notice, is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 3, to declare dividend of rupees 7 and paisa 50 only, being 375% per equity share of the face value of rupees 2 each for the financial year ended March 31, 2025. The resolution for item number 3, as provided in the notice, is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 4 of the notice, to appoint a director in place of Mr. Maulik Mehta DIN 05227290, who retires by rotation at this annual general meeting in terms of section 152(6) of the Companies Act 2013 and being eligible has offered himself for reappointment. The resolution for item number 4, as provided in the notice, is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 5 of the notice, to appoint a director in place of Mr. Sanjay Upadhyay, DIN 01776546, who retires by rotation at this annual general meeting in terms of section 152(6) of the Companies Act 2013 and being eligible has offered himself for reappointment. The resolution for item number 5 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The items under special business are item number 6 of the notice, ratification of remuneration of the cost auditors for the financial year 2025-26. The resolution for item number 6 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 7 of the notice, to appoint Messrs. Kanj and Company LLP, company secretaries as secretarial auditors of the company for a term of 5 consecutive years and payment of remuneration to them. The resolution for item number 7 as provided in the notice is proposed to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The facility to vote shall be kept open for 15 minutes after the conclusion of this annual general meeting. Therefore, members who have not yet casted their votes are requested to do so. Now I request the chairman to give his concluding remarks, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bajpai. I thank all the shareholders for joining this meeting through VC. I also thank all the directors and other participants for joining the meeting physically as well as through VC. I hereby declare the 54th annual general meeting of the company has concluded. Thank you. Thank you so much and have a great day.